Hello, loopers. This is Chris Mortimer from Yacht Zero, the guy who makes sure you buy the right yacht at the lowest price. We're going to talk to you about the Great Loop, and we're going to talk about the 6 boats that you should consider buying that otherwise aren't really shown or pushed to you. When someone says, hey, Chris, I want to do the Great Loop, I kind of say, wouldn't you rather just do the coast and the Bahamas? Because the loop it's pretty slow and there's a lot to not see during the trip. But again, everyone has to do what they want to do. You know that 19.6, the bridge is a big deal. You know that the locks are a big deal. You know that having an adequate blackwater tank is important. Size can be challenging. Very, very important that as we go through this list, you have to know that the 6th one on this list does not meet the 19.6 bridge clearance, but we're going to tell you exactly how it did the loop and what you could look into doing for yourself as well. Boat 1 on our list, we have Grace, a Nordhavn 59 coastal pilot. Nordhavn, typically building militaristic looking ships, deep drafts, very high, very tall. Can't do the loop, okay? The big criticism is they only go 7 knots. And for boats that are supposed to cross oceans, a lot of them only have single engine plus a wing. Not exactly what I would want. But for this purpose, they made a boat that clears the 19.6 bridge clearance, and they made a boat that goes a little bit faster. Now, I happen to personally know the owners that did this trip around the loop in this boat, and essentially they told me, 59 feet for just 2 people. It was a little bigger, but the boat was great. It operated well. The galley salon configuration is a little peculiar. The aft deck setup without fixed storage and seating is a little peculiar, but all in all, it's a really, really good boat to do the loop in. This is definitely something that I would consider because it has such a strong pedigree and it is a good boat. Number 2 on the list is a Belize 54 sedan bridge. We just had a set of clients that bought this boat a few months ago. Intentions of doing the loop, intentions of doing the coast. This is one you're not going to think of. While it does have Cummins and Zeus drives, which isn't totally ideal, this boat clears the bridges. It has an amazing open galley and open salon concept with a really adequate flybridge and aft deck area. They make this in a 2-stateroom and a 3-stateroom model. I much prefer the 2-stateroom model on this boat, especially if you're doing the loop. You're not going to have a ton of visitors, but this is a really well-made boat. Everything on this boat is labeled. A hose, a cord, it doesn't matter what it is. It makes it really, really great. The only thing is that these boats are controlled by a C-zone system for the electronics. So pretty much everything is going to run through one hub, which is great when it works, but it can be challenging when it doesn't. Your dinghy is going to be nicely recessed in the garage. You're going to have a grill right off on that swim platform. And again, it's just a really, really well-made boat that tends to hold its value really, really well. Now, with that said, again, no matter what you're buying, we're going to teach you how to buy it, what other people paid for it, what you could expect it to depreciate at. So make sure that you scan this QR code here if you're watching on a TV, or make sure you check out our website after this video as well. Boat number 3, a Princess 45 flybridge. Now, my take is that any flybridge below 50 feet is kind of a little tight. Being that I think Princess is the greatest production builder of boats in the world, this is a really, really nice option, a really nice footprint. It does have Volvo IPS pod drives, which certainly doable, certain parts throughout the loop. It's going to be a little bit tough to get service in the event of a breakdown or if you bump or run aground. But this boat, there's not many of them that exist. There's not many of them available. When they come up for sale, you better move quickly. But again, Princess F45, I think one of the nicest possible boats that you could do the loop on, as long as you know the couple downsides that you might run into during the course of ownership and the trip. All right, boat number 4. A Marlow 49. I know if you've watched this channel, you know I love Marlows also. Really good boats, really dependable, really reliable. Are priced a little bit high. Essentially, great boat, great builder, really strong secondary market demand. Just got to make sure it's at the right price. Now, I've heard through a little birdie that one of these boats on this list right here, the seller's plans might have changed and it might be available at a little bit more of a reasonable or aggressive number in the eyes of certain people. Number 5 on the list, we have a Galeon 560 Sky. If you know me, Galeon 560 Skies, Galeons as a whole, not necessarily my favorite quality builder, but I've also done the Great Loop in reverse on one of these Galeon 560s. This was back during COVID. My client Alex bought this boat down in Delray Beach, Florida, and he said, I have to get back up to Michigan for 4th of July. We had about 2 weeks to make this trip. We ran up the 10 Tom. We went through the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America. We headed right up into the 10 Tom River and we took this boat all the way up. Now, there were times where we were worried about knocking guys off in skiffs. There were times where we were passing through giant ships in Mobile, Alabama. It was quite a unique trip, but this boat allows you to go pretty fast and a lot of modern amenities on board as well. So makes the list. The blackwater tank is a little smaller than we would like, but again, there's trade-offs to buying every boat. And for the 6th boat on our list that you should consider for the Great Loop happens to be a boat that is not under 19 foot 6 inches, but it is an Outer Reef 65. Massive flybridge, 3 staterooms, strong engines, really comfortable for going really long distances. Now, what they did is before they approached the bridge, they had their hardtop taken off. It was packed up, put on board, and it was reassembled back on the other side of the bridge for a whopping cost of $10,000. Now, why don't people tell you this? Okay, you have to worry about removing a top that could cause structural integrity issues if it's put on or taken off a certain way. Of course, you have to worry about, well, what if you find out once you're there if it can be removed or not? All I'm saying to you is your whole search is dictated to this 19.6 option. Especially if you're buying higher quality boats or bigger boats that are not typical on the Great Loop. This is something that you definitely need to know. I am Chris Mortimer. This is Yacht Zero. Whatever boat you're planning on taking on the loop, let's look through it. What did other buyers pay? How much can you expect that boat to depreciate? Reach out to us. Boating's a full contact sport. When you break down on the loop in certain areas, you gotta know who to call, right? When you have issues, it's really good to be able to rely on someone. Hey, what do I do? Who do I call? Alrighty guys, thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to see you out on the water for this Great Loop trip. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, I need you to like this video. I need you to send me a comment to tell me what you're planning on buying. And if you could subscribe, all of this helps us find other people that are planning on buying their yachts wherever they are in the world, which helps me, helps our team. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, happy yachting, my friend.